I'm doing it again. I am picking favorites in this video. This time it's the winter edition. In this video, I'm going to tell you my 10 favorite things that I have designed for winter. In my fall video, I focused on things that were outerwear in and of themselves, so cardigans, jackets, things like that. These ones are things that are going to go underneath your outdoor wear. Or they're going to be things that you don't leave the house in at all. But before we get into it, hello, my name is Courtney. I'm a size-inclusive crochet designer, and I have designed well over 100 different things. I'm often asked what my favorites are, and I always just kind of pick whichever one I'm feeling that day. But today, I am officially picking my top 10 favorite winter designs. All right, let's take a look at number 10. It's my Veronica pullover. So Veronica has two options. You can do a V-neck like this, or you can do a cowl turtleneck like this. Essentially, the cowl turtleneck is just built onto the V-neck, so that's why mine doesn't have it. I made it with the turtleneck to start, and then I frogged the turtleneck to get pictures of it with the V-neck, and then I never reattached the cowl turtleneck because I liked the V-neck better. The Veronica pullover also features this high-low split hem, and it's difficult to see because of the variegation of my yarn, but it has my favorite ribbing along the whole hem, and it also has that ribbing on the cuff, which is actually a rolled cuff. So you work the cuff wrong side out, and then you roll it up to get the ribbing on the outside. And that is Veronica. Let's see who is number 9. Coming in at number 9 is the Polly cardigan. This is a stay-at-home babe, lay on the couch. It's like wrapping yourself up in a blanket. This cardigan is like the perfect amount of heavy and warm and squishy, and it has big old pockets for you to put all your snacks in. So you can load up these pockets full of your snacks in the kitchen and head over to the couch for a cozy day or night in. Polly is made with a super bulky yarn, as you can see, and the body is worked all in one piece, and you just seam the sides together and then attach for the sleeves. So it's kind of a cool construction. Like even the pockets are worked when you make the body. So this is the one for when you just want to cuddle up and stay inside. Let's take a look at number 8. It's my Aurora pullover. I love this sweater so much. It has a pocket, which we love. And this was my first ever sweater that I made with a non-superwash yarn, and I was really worried that it was gonna be like itchy or scratchy. I have very sensitive skin. It's probably the softest wool yarn that I've ever felt. So don't be afraid of non-superwash yarn. Aurora is perfect for the winter because she has this little mini cowl that is perfect to help with those cool winter breezes. And she only has a little bit of ease through the sleeves, so it's going to fit well inside of a winter jacket. Aurora was also one of the first sweaters I ever made with the new type of short rows that I use, and I just love the fit of it so much, especially with a cowl neck. If you don't have short rows in it, it's going to feel like it's choking you, but this doesn't at all. The cowl sits nice and forward because of those short rows in the back. And if you're hearing short rows and you're feeling panic, don't worry. These are literally the easiest short rows ever. They were developed by my friend Stephanie. Check her out, by Stephanie Aaron Designs. She is a design and math genius, and ever since starting to use her style of short rows, I've never looked back. All right, I think you're gonna love the next one. Number 7 are my Jasmine pants. These were tested from 3-month-old to women's 3X to men's extra large. I don't know how they work, but they work for all sizes. I believe these are actually my only made to measure pattern, and I don't understand how they work so well across so many different body types, but I'm so glad that they do. These were one of my very first designs early on in the first year or two of my designing career. They're ribbed all the way down with a nice little snug cuff at the bottom. And they come with a worksheet for you to figure it out with whatever yarn you want to use and at whatever gauge you want to use. So that makes these pretty well accessible to everybody. They are beginner friendly. The worksheet walks you right through how to do all the math to figure out how many stitches and how many rows based on the measurements of your body or the body of the person that you are making these for. The jasmine pants have been one of my best-selling patterns for a number of years now, and I can tell you all love them just as much as I do. They do include an elastic waist as well too, which does help with the size inclusivity piece so that we are elasticating to our own measurements rather than a standard measurement. So if you have a waist measurement that doesn't match the Craft Yarn Council hip measurement size, that's not a problem here. These are obviously a stay at home and lounge on the couch option as well too. I mean, you can wear them out if you want. There is no judgment here. I personally wouldn't. I don't think crochet bottoms are the warmest winter option for heading outside. Our stitches are a little too holy in crochet and that winter breeze will just cut right through these. So these are one of my couch lounge at home designs on this list. Let's take a look at who's next. Number 6 is my Clara circle yoke sweater. I always say this is my most beginner circle yoke sweater. And it might actually be my most beginner friendly garment of all of them. Don't quote me on that. This one's really beginner friendly. It is a circle yoke worked from the top down, bulky weight yarn, half double crochet all day. So it works up really quickly. It doesn't have any short rows, but the neckline is big enough that that isn't really a problem. And it just kind of teaches you the fundamentals of a circle yoke sweater construction. You can kind of wrap your head around splitting for the body and sleeve and increasing through the yoke in a way that you won't be overwhelmed like you would be with some of the more difficult circle yoke sweaters. And just because a sweater is simple and it's something that you could work up in a weekend doesn't mean it's not beautiful. I love Clara very much. I actually wear this sweater quite a bit, and just like the other sweaters I've shown so far, it fits really nicely under a winter coat because those sleeves only have a little bit of ease in them. And you're like, why do you keep talking about this ease on the sleeves? If you have like a really big bulky sleeve and you're trying to shove that inside a winter coat, you're just not gonna be comfortable. Trust me, I've tried it. I love me a big sleeve. See my Beatrix pullover, but I would never wear Beatrix underneath a winter coat because all that fabric is just gonna bunch up in my armpit and it's not gonna be cute or comfy. All right, we're halfway there. Let's see what we've got for the top 5. Number 5 is my Kaya sweater scarf. Yes, sweater scarves are basically impossible to wear underneath a winter coat. So this one is in the lineup because a sweater scarf is something that is perfect to wear to a winter event. Think holiday party, think winter wedding. It just gives your body that little bit of warmth, your arms that little bit of warmth that you sometimes need at those winter events. Trust me, a sweater scarf is where it's at for a winter event layer. It's like an elevated shawl, right? We could wear a shawl, but then your arms are still out. This is like a shawl with sleeves, a scarf with sleeves, a sweater scarf, if you will. All right, enough of that. That is number 5. Let's see who's up next. Number 4 is my Louise pullover. I just love this sweater so much. It's such a simple, easy, basic. It's something that I don't do very often. It's actually constructed in panels and seamed together. The sleeves are worked in the round though, so you don't have to seam the bottom of the sleeve and seam it to the body. You just have to seam it to the body. That's it. So if you're looking for like a really easy, beginner-friendly, DK weight sweater that is going to be kind of a wardrobe staple, a basic, Louise. It's Louise. You're looking for Louise. I also chose to do Louise in a non-superwash yarn from a different dyer than the Aurora pullover that I showed you earlier in this countdown. And once again, this yarn is so soft. I always had it in my mind that non-superwash was going to be scratchy and itchy. It's not. You have to get a certain number of microns or something. I don't know. Talk to an indie dyer about it. I am no expert on the fibers themselves, but I trusted in some indie dyer friends when they said, no, trust me, this non-superwash is super soft and silky, and they were right. So this is Louise. Now, you might not recognize number 3, but number 3 is my Beckett beanie. And you're like, Beckett beanie? I can't find that anywhere on your website. You are correct. I designed this a little over a year ago and then just never released the pattern for it. Oops! But I have really good news for you. This is coming as a free full pattern tutorial here on my YouTube channel the third Thursday in December, whatever that date is. So as I mentioned, I made this hat over a year ago. I wore it all last winter. It's so soft and squishy. It's got a double brim, which you can probably see on the camera there. Double brim for extra warmth over those ears. I just absolutely love it. And decorated with a nice fur palm. So you don't have Beckett yet, but Beckett is coming very soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss this free pattern coming in December. It's top 2 time. Coming in at number 2 is my Avery pullover. This is my most recent circle yoke design, and I love it for a lot of reasons. First is, this is the first design that I used all of the Craft Yarn Council measurements for, both men's and women's sizes. So there are a total of 18 sizes for this sweater. And it should come as no secret to anyone that I just love a circle yoke sweater. This is a circle yoke sweater. This is a very basic circle yoke sweater with the perfect easy short rows in the back, and it is something that again is just going to be a wardrobe staple through the winter. Avery has a little bit more ease in those sleeves and a nice fitted cuff, so she's still going to fit really well under your winter layers, and you can totally dress this sweater up or dress it down depending on where you're heading. I was aiming for just like that classic crew neck look when designing Avery. I realized that I didn't have a classic crew neck like this in my collection, so obviously I had to add one. Avery also follows a pretty similar design style and overall look to my number 1 item. Can we guess what it is? Drum roll. It's Marzana. Obviously. This sweater is not only my favorite, it's all of your favorites. This has been my best-selling design ever by far since the day it was released all the way up until now. As a 90s kid, every mom in my life had a Fair Isle sweater like this. So that was my design inspiration when I decided to make Marzana, was that like classic Fair Isle 90s mom sweater vibe. And I think I captured it quite perfectly, if I do say so myself. If you've never done color work before, but you have done a circle yoke sweater, I think you can probably handle doing Marzana. If you're aware of like the overall construction elements of a circle yoke sweater, you feel confident in that, but you're a little afraid of the color work, try it. I also have a blog post about doing crochet color work, and I'm going to one day do a YouTube video about crochet color work as well too. As I mentioned when I was wearing my Avery sweater, they have a similar design aesthetic. Ribbing on the collar, hem, and cuff, that little bit of a bigger sleeve with a tight fitted cuff. I absolutely love this sweater. And I think it perfectly like encapsulates winter. I designed this in like the second half of 2020. If you are a human living in the world in 2020, you know it was like a really challenging year for all of us globally. And Marzana is a goddess of death and rebirth. So when I released this pattern at the start of 2021, it just felt like we were kind of coming out of that dark place. We had a vaccine for COVID. People were starting to get healthier and seem more optimistic. I realize, looking back, maybe we shouldn't have been so optimistic that early on, but we were at that time. We were feeling some light at the end of the tunnel, and that's when Marzana kind of came into play, and I feel like that name just perfectly captured the global sentiment at the time. And that's it. Those are my favorite top 10 best, most loved designs for winter. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, comment your favorite down below, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on that free Beckett beanie pattern coming up, as well as other vlog style videos and other free patterns coming up. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.